Okay, today, let's maybe set aside the dry textbooks, the complex grammar charts, just for a moment.
Good idea.
We're looking at something different here. An exploration of what people who really get into the Arabic language describe as, well, a deep connection. Almost a love story.
It really can feel that way. I think most people, when they first approach Arabic, they sort of hit these walls, right? The script looks different, the sounds.
Yeah, the initial hurdles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But our mission today is to look beyond that, to really extract the core stuff, the aesthetic beauty, the history, the culture, and, importantly, its modern significance.
We want to find out why it keeps being called this stunning, intricate tapestry.
Yeah, find those aha moments that show its deep power woven into global civilization.
Okay, so where do we start? I think maybe just the visual appeal. The calligraphy has to be the first thing.
It's almost unavoidable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Arabic is one of those rare languages where the writing itself is just pure art. You don't need to understand a single word to appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's not just writing. The sources call it a dance of ink on paper.
Nice phrase.
It's all motion, this incredible balance of flowing curves and then these sharp, dramatic angles. You see it everywhere in Islamic art and architecture for a reason.
Right, it's decorative, but also carries this deep spiritual weight. And that visual difference, it immediately signals something profound about the structure.
You mean writing right to left?
Yeah, the distinctive characteristic, it's not just arbitrary. It shapes how you visually process the text, makes you reorient your whole approach compared to English. A different rhythm.
So the look is captivating. Then there's the sound. The sources mention a rich melodic quality.
Oh, definitely. And everyone knows about those unique sounds, the guttural ones, the emphatic consonants. They're very characteristic.
They really stand out.
They do, and they give the language its depth, its power.
Yeah.
You actually have to use parts of your throat and mouth that, well, English speakers just don't normally use much. Different tongue positions, different breath control. That's why that analogy works so well. Learning the pronunciation is like learning a new instrument.
Challenging, I bet.
Oh, it is. Definitely challenging. But getting those nuances right, achieving that authentic sound, it's incredibly rewarding. That's when the language truly, sings.
Okay, so you're drawn in by the look, by the sound. The next logical step is wondering, how does this language actually work? Let's get into its structure, its depth.
Right, and this is where you find the real engine of the language. If there's one structural feature a new learner absolutely has to grasp, it's the triliteral root system.
Okay.
Miss this, and you kind of miss the genius of Arabic.
So explain that. What is the triliteral root system?
Sure. So basically, most Arabic words are built on a core foundation of 3 consonants. These 3 consonants carry a fundamental meaning.
Like a building block.
Exactly. Take the root KTB. That relates to the whole idea of writing.
KTB writing. Got it.
Then, by changing the vowels around those consonants or adding standard prefixes and suffixes, you generate a whole family of related words. So KTB gives you kitab.
Work.
Right. And katib.
Writer.
Yep. And maktaba.
Library. Or bookstore.
Both, yeah. And yaktubu.
Ah, he writes.
You got it. See? It's a pattern.
That is genuinely fascinating. So vocabulary isn't just random memorization. It's more like recognizing patterns.
Precisely. It's incredibly efficient structurally. Now, link that structure to its cultural role. Arabic has this immense spiritual significance as the language of the Quran.
Revered by, over 1.8 billion Muslims worldwide?
That's right. And that reverence has meant it's been preserved and standardized for well over 1,000 years. It anchors a vast global community.
Okay, but if it's so tied to religion and ancient history, does that make the modern language feel, stuck? How does it handle things like new tech or slang? Is it mainly a historical artifact?
That's a really important question. But the historical legacy isn't one of being static. It's actually one of dynamic intellectual expansion. People often forget about the golden age of Islam.
Right, when Arabic was the language of scholarship.
Exactly. And this wasn't just about preserving old texts, though they did that brilliantly. It was a period of groundbreaking innovation.
Well, Europe was, relatively speaking, in its dark ages.
Correct. Scholars in the Arabs, Persians, others, they were the world leaders in science, math, medicine, astronomy. They were building the blueprint for knowledge.
And that legacy touches us directly today, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Think about math and science. When you use a term like algebra,
that's Arabic.
Straight from al-jab, meaning something like the reunion of broken parts or reduction.
Yeah.
Or the concept of an algorithm.
Named after a scholar.
Yes. The great mathematician Al-Khwarizmi. His work was foundational.
And the numbers we use, 1, 2, 3, everyone calls them Arabic numerals.
Because they were transmitted to Europe via Arab scholars. That positional system, including the revolutionary idea of zero, it fundamentally changed everything for mathematics and science.
Wow. Okay.
And it goes way beyond math. These scholars translated, preserved, and then critically expanded on the ancient Greeks, Aristotle, Galen, Euclid.
So without them, we might have lost huge chunks of classical knowledge.
It's entirely possible. Their work in philosophy, medicine, engineering. It really laid the groundwork for the later European Renaissance. It's not an exaggeration.
So learning Arabic isn't just learning vocabulary and grammar.
Not at all.
It's like inheriting this vast intellectual legacy, accessing humanity's library.
Well put.
Yeah.
And that legacy is still incredibly relevant today, which brings us nicely to the whole global connection piece.
Right. This is where it gets really interesting for today's world. Let's talk geography and influence. Arabic is official in what, 22 countries?
22 countries across the Middle East and North Africa.
Yeah.
Think about that geographic spread in Morocco all the way across to Iraq. It's huge.
The number of speakers.
Globally, over 420 million people speak some form of Arabic. That makes it one of the most widely spoken languages on the planet.
Wow.
And, crucially, it's one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. That gives it enormous diplomatic and political weight.
But we need to be a bit careful with that 420 million speakers number, right? Because it's not quite one single language everyone speaks day to day.
That's a vital point. We absolutely have to clarify the difference between Modern Standard Arabic, or MSA, and the various dialects.
Okay, so MSA is?
MSA is the formal standardized version. It's understood across the Arab world. It's the language of books, news broadcasts, political speeches, religious texts. It's the common denominator.
The unifying bridge language.
Exactly. But the language people actually speak in daily life, on the street, at home, it's usually a local dialect. Egyptian Arabic, Levantine Arabic, Gulf Arabic, North African Arabic. They can be quite different from each other and from MSA.
So if you're learning, you probably start with MSA.
Most likely, yes, because it gives you that broad reach and access to written materials in formal contexts.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll eventually need to engage with a dialect if you want to have real, everyday conversations.
Right. MSA for the news, dialect for groceries, and making friends.
That's a good way to put it. It's an important expectation to set for any learner. It's a dual track, in a way.
Okay. But that complexity, that reach, it actually increases the value of fluency, doesn't it? Especially for someone thinking about their career in our interconnected world.
Oh, absolutely. The opportunities are significant. Think about international relations, diplomacy, intelligence work.
Yeah.
Operating effectively in a region of such vital global importance, understanding the nuances of the language is just essential. The sources are clear. Arabic gives you a seat at that table.
And then there's the economic side. The Gulf states, particularly Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar.
Huge economic hubs. And they're diversifying rapidly beyond just oil and gas.
Finance, energy, construction, engineering, and tourism is booming too.
Exactly. And in all those fields, Arabic speakers are in high demand. It's not just about translation. It's about cultural competency, building trust, negotiating effectively. Fluency is a massive advantage, often a prerequisite for real success there.
And what about media? Journalism.
Invaluable. Being able to access news and information directly from the source without relying on potentially biased translations, that's critical for understanding complex situations accurately.
So pulling it all together, learning Arabic genuinely offers you a seat at the global table, professionally, culturally.
It really does. It's an investment in becoming a more globally literate person.
Okay, so we've covered the beauty, the history, the global reach. The final piece, according to the sources, seems to be the most personal, the transformation, the intimate connection.
Yes, the personal growth aspect.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the sources acknowledge it is challenging. Learning Arabic takes effort.
Definitely.
But overcoming those hurdles, mastering those sounds, figuring out the grammar, that process itself builds confidence. There's a real sense of accomplishment.
And there's that charming discovery the sources mentioned, finding bits of Arabic hidden in English.
Ah, yes, the hidden love letters in your own language. It's surprising how many everyday English words have Arabic roots.
It really is. It's like uncovering a secret history in your own vocabulary. These words didn't just appear. They came through centuries of contact trade, scholarship, the Crusades.
Think about your morning routine. You might have coffee,
Kawa,
right? Maybe add some sugar,
sukar,
perhaps a slice of lemon.
laymun. Okay, I see the pattern.
Later, you might read a magazine.
From makazin, meaning a storehouse originally. Interesting.
Or check a tariff.
Tarifa,
even relax on the sofa.
Sufa. Wow, it's everywhere when you start looking.
It really is. And knowing that deepens your sense of how interconnected languages and cultures truly are. But the most powerful element, the real heart of the love story, is the human connection.
That seems to be the ultimate payoff.
Absolutely. The sources really emphasize this. Speaking even just a few words of Arabic can immediately create a bond. People in the Arab world are often known for their incredible hospitality.
Yeah, that warmth.
And when they see a foreigner making an effort, even a small one, with their language, it's often met with such genuine appreciation, such kindness. That door to cultural exchange, to real conversation, just swings wide open.
So the learning isn't just academic, it's about immediate connection.
That's the core reward, I think, is accessing that warmth directly.
So looking at the whole picture,
The sources really frame learning Arabic as choosing an adventure. It enriches your life geographically, intellectually, professionally. The access it grants far outweighs the initial challenges.
so the message to you, the listener, is pretty clear. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Take the plunge.
Yeah, start small, maybe just learn the alphabet, listen to some Arabic music. There's incredible stuff out there. Or even just learn a simple, welcoming phrase like marhaban.
Hello, a good start.
Definitely. And maybe, as you think about all this, here's a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
We talked about how Arabic was the key language centuries ago for preserving and advancing this huge intellectual legacy, fueling progress, setting the stage for the Renaissance.
Right.
So the question for you is, by learning Arabic today, by accessing those original sources, by connecting with that living culture, what new insights, what new connections might you unlock? What part of that legacy could you carry forward?